There are times when I think that we talked about this last night, that breaking the law is the only way to move forward, like suspension of habeas corpus after the Civil War. They just dispensed with the Constitution and were like, we're just going to do what we need to do to establish
that was wrong.
order. Well, but it worked.
Did it?
Apparently.
Well, not apparently. It's a question
order.
of what did it do? No. What did the suspension of habeas corpus do?
It allowed the government to do crazy stuff.
Where and why?
I don't know the specifics, but
Exactly.
I know that they dispensed with the Constitution for a short period of time.
The suspension of habeas corpus was a corridor between D.C. and Pennsylvania, specifically because Maryland was a slave state and they needed access to D.C. and they were concerned that the sympathies of Maryland would interfere with their ability to move troops to protect D.C. So they said from this corridor, from here to down here, in this area, don't mess with the U.S. We are at war. And there was an instance where a random guy got locked up and he refused to play ball, and they held him until the war was over and let him go. There was an instance where they went and arrested a bunch of the state representatives from Maryland for having Southern sympathies. These things I don't feel were good. And I don't know that we have evidence that doing that actually improved the efforts. To be fair, you can say the U.S. government is securing this corridor under martial law. But the argument that the general suspension of habeas corpus was a good thing that needed to happen, I don't know that that's true.
I know. And in this situation, if they feel like, look, we have been subjugated by a business class, by bureaucracy since 1913, the Federal Reserve, these bureaucrats have taken over our country. We need to suspend some sort of metaphorical habeas corpus to get our country back. I mean, and they're willing to break the law. The jury's out on whether or not that's a good thing, because it's the first step on a slippery slope. If you do it now, you think the next president's not going to go do it? They probably will. So you got to be real careful about adhering to every letter of the law. That's why I'm bringing it up.
We have long maintained this position of, but guys, the Democrats are doing bad thing, and if we try to stop them, then what happens if later on someone else uses the powers we created to do bad thing as well? What that ignores in the slippery slope argument is that a bad thing is currently happening. So the Democrats are abusing the system, spending money with reckless abandon to burn everything down and spread their crackpot Marxist ideology. And we go, wait, if we stop them doing evil, later in the future, someone else might do evil. And I say, okay, when that happens, we will fight against that evil the same as we fight against this evil right now. That's the only thing I see. Because otherwise you end up with these scenarios where it's like, we better not implement this new policy lest they use it against us. And it's like, but they're using evil things against us right now.
This is sort of the
argument.
argument.
We have to just win the culture war.
Yeah, like you've got in Dungeons and Dragons, it's kind of a silly metaphor. You got law and chaos. You know, you get to pick how lawful do I want to be, how chaotic. You get to pick on that scale. And I'm sort of in the middle. Like if a law is evil, then you should not do it. The Nazis, for instance, made all that crap they were doing legal in Germany. People people that were hiding Jews in their attic and stuff were basically violating the law to do good. So you've got your law versus chaos, and then you've got your good versus evil. And you can be chaotic as hell and be really good. And that's Robin Hood.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.